Hello.
Hello.
Hi, Danny.
Hi, Katie.
How are
Nice to meet
you?
you. Good,
You
and you?
too. Good, thank you. Thank you so much for joining.
Yeah, I'm excited.
How's your week been so far?
It's been okay. Yeah, been quite a busy start to the week. I think
Okay.
last week, because it was such a short week, now everything's like, it's a 5-day week. Gotta get, but it's good. A good busy. And yours?
Yes, also full week. Last week also felt like everyone was playing catch up because of the long weekend. And now it's like, okay, this is reality. This is normal.
Yeah, we really do have 5-day weeks.
Yes. Wouldn't life be so much simpler if we just had 4 days? I mean,
Yes, yes,
I'm
absolutely.
I've actually started doing that.
Oh,
Yes, and it's made the biggest difference in my life. Like
oh
I'm
wow.
blessed to be able to. I've just chosen Fridays or no laptop work days. Um,
Mm,
so it's really been helping a lot. This week
that's
it's a little bit touch and go, but
Yes, yeah, I believe so. I mean, they did that study a while ago, and apparently it was quite successful.
I think people will be mentally and emotionally a lot healthier, and we will get so much more done as well.
Mm.
You know,
Oh yeah,
the
without a doubt,
uh,
without a doubt.
be more productive in a healthier way. Good
Yeah,
evening, Darley.
Hi, I made it in time.
Yes, you did. How was the
And I don't
holidays?
want to... Good, but it was busy. I like being at home when it's holiday because then you actually rest. If you go somewhere, it's always, yeah, there, do this. But it was good. Needed to get out of
Yes.
town a bit.
Good.
Yeah.
I'm glad everyone is here. I think I'm going to start, and then whoever hops on, hops on. Okay. I think we can all just take a moment to land in our bodies. We're going to do a little short somatic practice. Um, so I'm going to put on a song here for us. Let me know if you
Yay.
can everyone hear?
yes,
Can you also hear me?
yes.
Okay, great. So it's really simple. Just gonna start tapping on the head, just releasing all the stories and the thoughts of today. You can go down the neck. Remember to breathe while you're doing this. Tapping the forehead. I actually need to put this slightly softer because I can't hear myself speak. And the eyebrows. Let's go down the temples of the head, under the eyes. So this practice is really just letting your body know that, hello, I am here. Let's go down the jaw and try to open your mouth. Yes, it's silly. You can even make a sound. Down the chin and the throat. Releasing everything that you've been wanting to say, but felt like you couldn't. And then we go down the shoulders. Some of us carry a lot of stuff in the shoulders. And just can give yourself a squeeze. Nice. chest, under the clavicles. You can even pound a little bit. Just saying hi to your boobies. Hello, boobies. Yeah, we tend to...
Itty bitties.
Yes, Dale knows. The itty bitty ones.
Love the itty bitties.
Down the arms. Just getting some blood flow. And under the... What is a kilibak in English? Anyone?
Armpit.
Armpit. Oh my goodness. How could I forget that? Go down the ribs and the stomach. Oh. Now we're going to stand up. We're just going to go down the back. They say that if you're very tired, you just need to wake up your kidneys a little bit. Isn't that interesting? To the front. Woo. Go down to your legs. When last have you said hi to your legs or thank you legs? And the booty. Yes, we're tapping our booties.
Punish those this morning.
All the hip thrusts
Yep.
and the squats.
Yep.
Good. Down the shins and the knees. These are all areas we tend to judge quite a bit. Look at my big legs. And we don't thank our legs for carrying us through the day. And just give your feet a little squeeze. And we're gonna do one big stretch. You can stand up or sit down. Stretching it out. Good. Just take a moment to feel that energetic force around your body. Who would have thought tapping and squeezing can wake us up like this? Hey? Isn't that amazing? Okay. So before I start digging into all of these interesting topics, I'd like to open up the space for anyone who's willing to share their story or their relationship with food, your experience. And I know that this might feel very uncomfortable, like you don't want to be put on the spot, or that your story isn't as bad as compared to others. But this is really not about being perfect with your words. It's not about having this dramatic story. It's really just about being witnessed. This is not a space where anyone is going to fix you or give you advice or tell you what you should be doing. It's really just about listening and holding space. So if anyone feels like sharing, you can just unmute yourselves and tell us what's been working for you or what hasn't, whatever feels true to you.
I don't have a very... Go.
Sorry, Carmen. Yes, you need to speak a little bit into the mic. Can you hear her? No.
Yeah,
Uh,
that's weird.
Ons
Oh,
hoor
now
julle.
yes.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Can you hear me? Okay, great. So I don't really know my relationship with eating because I have great months where I'm super happy. I'm not forcing anything, but it's healthy and it's sustainable and I'm eating well. And then I get these random months, like the whole month, where I'm just, when I say I'm eating whatever, whenever, how much I want, it's like, I don't care. But honestly, it has, like for a week, I'm like, okay, I'll get back into things. But then it continues, and I'm like, it has an effect eventually. And then I'm good again. Like, I don't know, like it's a weird situation. So that's just my story with food as a relationship. So
Okay.
yeah, just to share that.
Thank you. Thank you for
I
sharing.
can relate to that. It goes up, down, then it's good and it's good. And then, like, one weekend or one day of where you mess up, like with me with sugar. And then I'll have a bit of sugar and I haven't had in months. And then I'll get back to it. But then it's like a weekend, a week, a month. And then it's like, oh shit, like, I need to do something now. And I was like, for God, for the course. Then I love food, but I hate it because look at me. Yeah, I also don't have a good relationship with food sometimes. But when it goes well, then it's nice because then it's so nourishing and you understand like where you get your energy from and it's so nice. But when you catch that dip, then soos alles val net in mekaar in. Dan is die mental health en die klere en hoe ek oor myself voel en ek wil nie mense sien nie en die energie en dan is alles net 'n gemors. So ek hou nie so baie van dit hê. Dit is vir my baie sleg. Dis my
Ja.
kak. Ek haat dit. Dis hoekom ek hier is vanaand want ek wil hierdie hoor, help my.
Okay.
Ah, that's me.
Yes. Interesting.
Okay. And I mean, I'm 56. I promise you, I've had this forever. And I think it's going to continue. It's part of being human. And being a woman. It's so linked to our, I don't have cycles anymore. I mean, I'm in menopause, but I can promise you it doesn't change. So I think menopause is actually worse. It's not getting better. And but I also, you have your really good seasons. I can go like forever, and I'm busy. I'm exercising. I'm doing well, and it's everything just 100%. And then I also go into this slow period, and then I also start, you know, then I start eating again, a binge here, binge there, and then it's just a roller coaster again. It's just down the slope. And although I do know what I need to do to get myself back on track, I've got not figures, but there's certain things that I know that I need to do to get myself back on track. Not just the exercising, other stuff as well. But it's like I just don't feel like doing it. And then all of a sudden, you get into it and then you get back on track. And yeah, I just think it's part of being a woman.
Hormones. I don't know.
Yeah.
That's another month. I
Blaming it all on the hormones.
It's tough being a female.
It's not an easy job, I'll tell you.
No.
Hi, Melisha. How are you? No problem. How are you doing?
No, I'm doing well. I'm doing great.
Good. We are just sharing a little bit about our relationship and stories around food. So I don't know if there's anyone else that would like to say something.
Yeah, no,
Yes.
definitely. I think like I'm an emotional eater, and I tend to eat like if I'm emotionally stressed or going through something. And I tend to eat Simba chips. Is one of my
Okay.
biggest weaknesses. So whenever I'm going through something, I normally would. Previously, I would go and buy a big packet of Simba chips and enjoy or try the new flavors. Now I've kind of limited it to buy a small packet starting off. But I think that's one of my biggest weaknesses is basically anything like salty, savory kind of snack.
Nice. Yay, Simba chips.
Yeah, I have to agree. It's sometimes hard to flick that switch again, to because I agree. Like, I mean, I've I've done the weight loss thing. I was very successful for a long time, lost a lot of weight. Um, and then that switch flipped. I was training every day, eating was on track for almost 2 years. It was great. And then that switch just completely it switched off, and then it's just never kind of gotten back on track again. And it is, and like there's just I can't even like sort of narrow it down to say it's this. I eat when I'm happy, I eat when I'm sad, I eat when, like any excuse. And I know, it's kind of like for me at this point, I'm trying to sort of find sort of what's even triggering it, what's that pattern. So I think that's kind of where I'm at the moment, is kind of just finding that, and also kind of just sort of drawing a line in the sand and saying I'm starting here. And because I think weight loss doesn't feel like such a victory anymore when you've lost a lot and regained it. It doesn't feel the same. So I think for me, it's kind of like starting that process again and going, right, lost a kilo, well done, and actually mean it. Yeah, that's kind of where I am at.
Yeah, it sounds like we all have the similar trend that's happening. And it's very interesting because it's kind of like exactly as life. It's this pendulum swing, right? We have our ups and we have our downs. That's life. Sometimes we moving fast and we're functioning at such a amazing speed and everything is going great, but everything that's going up has to come down. So essentially what the goal needs to be for this pendulum swing is to come back to being neutral. The highs and the lows, there's this constant high and low. But what does it feel like to be neutral, right? And this is something that my relationship with food also, it stems from a very, very young age where I was on diets since I can remember. I've tried it all. What's that, way loss, or was it way less? Way less. I remember they in Bloemfontein, they had this place, it's close to the primary school, where you go and weigh yourself, and they wait there for you and they weigh you. But the problem is that I've realized how uneducated those people are, because what they are making you do is just restriction and starvation. Like, I was only allowed to have this amount of all bran in the mornings with some yogurt, and then a chicken salad, and then tonight maybe also a chicken salad. Like, I mean, how does that not create more problems? So I'm going to go into share my screen here, and I'm going to go into a little bit on the back end of where all of these things stem from. And then if we have time and you ladies want to, we can go into a little bit more into a personalization with each and every one, but we'll see where the time is at, because I know you are all busy ladies. Can everyone see my screen? Yes.
Yes.
Okay. The one thing that I feel we need to start doing is to start being a bit more honest with ourselves. Like Danny has said, you know, what is actually happening in my body and in my life at that stage for food to be the safest option right now. Okay, so this is really, tonight is more about understanding yourself so that you can rebuild trust with your body again. Okay, so essentially food becomes a coping tool. Food is not necessarily always the problem. It's really about what's happening underneath. So essentially it's really an emotional and a nervous system response. What is emotional eating? Emotional eating is when you eat in response to how you feel, rather than what your body physically needs. And that doesn't mean that there is anything wrong with us for doing this. It's also not a lack of discipline or that you are being weak. But when we feel stressed, overwhelmed, lonely, bored, anxious, and even tired, your body looks for relief. And food is the safest and most accessible ways to create relief. When you eat, especially with foods that are higher in sugar and fat or salt, your brain releases dopamine. And we all know that dopamine makes you feel better, right? So what happens over time is that your brain starts to learn, when I feel like this, food helps. And that then becomes a pattern. So it's usually not because you decided it consciously. It's because you have found that food has worked for you. It's given you a temporary relief. And that's why emotional eating can feel automatic. Even binge eating, it's like you don't sit there and think, I'm feeling overwhelmed. Let me grab this thing to eat so I can feel better. Unless you are very much aware and you do know that this is what you're going through. So essentially, you reach for something, you open the fridge, and you snack without really understanding or realizing why. And then afterwards, it's not for everyone, but I think for most people, comes the guilt. There is the shame and the frustration. You know, there's that voice that says, why did I do that again? I have no control. I need to be stricter. But the truth is, and I think we all know this, is that if you eat emotionally, that doesn't fix the emotion. It might soften it for a while, but then you're left with both the original feeling and then the guilt on top of that. So emotional eating is not an eating disorder on its own. It's a pattern. It's something that you've learned. And like we've seen tonight. Almost everyone does it at some point. Like Rizal said, especially because we're women. We have all these hormonal fluctuations. But when that becomes your main way of coping, when food is the go-to for every difficult situation, that's when it starts to feel heavy and frustrating and like you're out of control, especially if you are someone who has aesthetic or fat loss goals. So I really think that the question we should ask ourselves is not how do I stop eating or fix this, is really more like what am I needing in those moments, right? Because food is never random. It's always trying to meet something, whether that is socializing, hunger, or your emotions. It's always trying to meet something, even if it isn't the thing that you truly need. Let's get to your next slide. Okay. So I want to briefly touch on this because I think that it is something important. And I think many of us confuse these two, emotional eating and binge eating. They can feel similar, but they're not. So like we said earlier, emotional eating is when you eat in response to how you feel, right? Stressed, overwhelmed, bored, needing comfort. It can also be positive feelings. It's not always negative. Because when you think about it, when you are getting ready to go on holiday, you're thinking about all the exciting food and drinks that you might have along the way. So with emotional eating, you are still aware of what you're doing, even if it feels automatic. Binge eating feels a little bit different. It feels more like it is a loss of control. It's fast, it's intense, and it kind of feels like you literally can't stop, even if you are full. And that is usually when the emotional impact is heavier, because it's just more shame and more guilt or more distress. And from my experience, binge eating is usually a result of restriction. But both of those are still your body's way of trying to cope. They tell us that something deeper is going on. And some people can have both emotional and binge eating patterns happening at the same time. So I've learned that instead of trying to control this behavior or to continue fighting yourself, we have to start to get curious. What's underneath this? Like, you cannot heal something by constantly judging it. And you also can't move forward by being harder on yourself either. If you listen to a little bit about what a lot of you has been saying, it's a lot of like, oh, I have to stop doing this. I have to get back on track. You are being very hard on yourself. And so it's just more resistance on top of that. So we need to be a little bit more curious and honest about what it is that you actually need. Whether that is support, conversation with a friend, or actually allowing yourself to feel the emotions, the overwhelm, and the stress of life. Is everyone still with me? Good. Okay. So now we all walk around believing that we have this food addiction and that we have no control. But if we shift this perspective into understanding that it is not the food that we are addicted to, what I can say is that the more you are eating of these pleasure foods, is what I call them, the more you will want them. That's why it's even more difficult to get out of it. If you had a whole weekend of fun times and you're braaiing there and you're having this and it's a little bit of that and you're going to this restaurant, now Monday comes and you have to go onto your strict plan, it's difficult. So essentially what I'm trying to say is with the emotional eating and the binge eating is that we're not addicted to it, but it is about the safety that we are looking for. So it's not about it's not a willpower problem or an addiction. It is your nervous system trying to regulate. What I've learned about myself, the best way my nervous system regulates is by lying on my bed. The moment I lie on my bed, I start to yawn and I can literally just feel my body, my nervous system is regulating. When you yawn, that is an indication that your nervous system is calming down. But this is why to control food harder or being stricter with yourself just makes things worse, because you're essentially removing the very thing that your body has learned to rely on without giving it another way to feel safe. Okay, I want us to look at this at a slightly different way. Instead of just constantly trying to analyze it, I want you to start recognizing it in real time. Because what we're all recognizing is, okay, I'm in the slope, but then why am I, automatically continuing to do that? So that's why we go back to the question, what is it that I'm really needing in this phase or in this moment of my life? When it's physical hunger, your body is asking for fuel. That's it. It's simple. You can eat a proper meal, something that's balanced, something that's nourishing, and your body would feel satisfied. Now remember, I'm not talking about the dry chicken breast and broccoli and rice that's on your so-called meal plan, right? That's just another form of restriction. Because who likes eating that meal in any case? No one. Okay, so with physical eating, that's what I'm saying. It usually doesn't have to be perfect. It's just you are also not looking for something specific. Your body just needs food. When it's emotional eating, there's usually something underneath it. And it is so funny because this literally happened to me tonight. I had a full day of live coaching calls and all sorts of other calls happening and meetings. And as I was setting up for our call, I started to feel sad because I don't have an exciting meal after this call. And that is what food can do to you. It is insane. And so it's not me that was physically hungry because I just ate. My brain was looking for a reward or something to give me after this very long and busy day, for my nervous system to regulate. So when it's emotional eating, there's usually something underneath it. It could be a feeling that you don't want to sit with, a moment that you are trying to escape, or a sense of discomfort that you want to erase. And not just to eat, but something specific, something that feels comforting, something that will change how you feel. Because chicken and rice is not going to make you feel better, right? So we're looking for something specific. And we can also use the example of being on your period or before your period. We're feeling emotional. And when I'm saying this, even for women in menopause, you still ride the rhythm of a woman, even if you don't get your period. So you still have those fluctuations. When we feel emotional, exhausted, or a little bit sad or depressed, the thing that we all want in that moment, except Melisha wants Simba chips, we want chocolates. We want chocolates. It's delicious. It's comforting. Or anything, whatever is your escape. When it comes to binge eating, it's a build up. It's not just one moment, but layers. First, you restrict yourself from certain foods. You keep craving these foods. You keep fighting yourself not to eat it because you are on the carnivore diet. And then your system reaches a point where it overrides everything. And you eat anything and everything you see. So let's simplify this. When you feel the urge to eat, pause for a few seconds, breathe, and ask yourself, would a proper meal satisfy me right now? And if the answer is yes, that's your body asking for food. It's time to eat. If the answer is no, and you're craving something specific, very comforting, then there is something else going on. And this is not a bad thing, ladies. It's just information. And so first, what you can do is to first give yourself what you need. It could be movement. Maybe you're thirsty. You might need a moment to breathe or step away from your laptop, step outside, or have a conversation. If after that you still have that craving, allow yourself then to eat it. But now the difference is that it was a clear and conscious choice rather than something that just happened on autopilot. And the chances are that if you fuel yourself properly throughout the day and you allow yourself these food that you enjoy, you'll stop binging on them. Because now you are eating them while you are present. How do we eat when we are present? Well, not watching series. I'm not saying don't ever do that. I'm just saying that maybe if you have that craving in that moment, then go and eat it outside in nature and enjoy it. Rather than just, not eating it while you're present. The goal here is not to stop yourself. Because if you've ever been through a binge eating episode, it's like nothing can stop it. And I've been there many times. It is the worst thing that anyone can experience, I believe. So the goal is to understand yourself so that you can start to respond with more awareness instead of reacting automatically. So I want to talk a little bit about why dieting fails. This is trying to be good, trying to be strict. And I'm saying the word dieting is because somehow we've changed this word into a trend. You know, what diet are you following now? Yeah, this is lifestyle, you know. It's trying to finally get it right. Whatever that means for you. And then somehow we end up back in the same cycle. When you restrict food, especially when you do it in a very controlled way, like an all or nothing way, your brain doesn't understand that as I'm trying to lose fat, or I'm trying to lose weight, or I'm trying to live a healthier life. It just understands this as something is not safe, food is not consistent, and there might not be enough tomorrow, or I am not allowed to have of this certain types of food tomorrow. So that is the nervous system, the nervous system shifting into survival mode. And when that happens, your hunger increases, your cravings get stronger, and you start thinking about food all the time. And this is where the cycle begins. You binge, you restrict, you binge, you restrict even harder, and you binge even harder. And we've been taught that the only way to lose weight is to eat the salad and chicken, like I've said earlier, or this is all you get to have, and to eat as little as possible, and to see how much we can suffer. And then we hop onto all these social media trends, and we just end up digging bigger holes for ourselves that takes a very long time to get out of. So if you are on a fat loss journey or simply trying to be healthier, the answer is not restriction. It's not intermittent fasting, it's not keto, it's not carnivore. You need to ask yourself, how can I achieve my goals in a sustainable and enjoyable way? And how can I create consistency, safety, and trust with food again? So, if strict dieting fails, we still need some kind of structure, whether that's for health purposes or your aesthetic goals. But we're obviously not looking for one that is restrictive or punishing, but supportive. So instead of thinking in terms of good foods and bad foods, I want you to start thinking in terms of power food and pleasure foods. Power foods are the foods that support your body. They give you energy, they keep you full, they help regulate your hunger, your mood, and your focus. Like we all know, lean proteins, whole foods, these are the meals that actually nourish you. Pleasure foods are the ones you enjoy. And these foods are a part of your life, all our lives. Social moments, the cravings, because we're women, the treats, they are just part of being human. The problem isn't the pleasure foods. The problem is that when these foods become the main thing that your body is relying on, especially when your system already feels stressed or unsafe. So instead of removing them, we create balance. And a simple way to think about this is to follow the 80-20% approach. 80% of the time throughout your day, you focus on power foods, nourishing your body, eating properly, giving your system what it actually needs. And then the other 20% of the day, you allow for pleasure foods without any guilt, without overthinking it, without needing to earn it, because that is another problem we create for ourselves. We try to earn our food by training very hard or doing excessive amounts of cardio. One of the most important things that you can do to support this is to just actually eat enough during the day, especially starting with something like breakfast. A lot of women, every woman that has come to me skips breakfast, delays it. They tell me, I can't eat when I wake up. And I understand that. But if you want to start healing, you will need to start focusing on breakfast. It is literally setting the tone for the day. If you don't eat breakfast by the afternoon or in the evening, your body is so hungry physically and emotionally, it becomes much harder to make grounded choices. And that is usually when our cravings feel stronger and our control feels lower. Because the whole day you've been so busy making decisions, working, doing this, doing that. You come at home, you want to wind down. Making a difficult choice to eat something nourishing feels harder. But now you're starving because you didn't eat throughout the day, so you're just gonna eat the whole loaf of bread, right? I mean, I'm a bread girl. I can eat a whole loaf of bread, no problem. So even if it is something small, you have to. Simple protein-based breakfast, something that stabilizes your energy. It can make the biggest difference in how your body responds later in the day. So this is about creating enough structure and enough nourishment so your body no longer feels like it has to fight you. And if you are like me, who would have and probably still can eat a whole slab of chocolate just because it's in the house. You know, it's like you sit here, you're working, you don't really have a craving for chocolate, but you know there's a Cadbury slab in your cupboard, so might as well finish it. Don't keep it in the house. Why do you test yourself like that? Buy it as you go. Plan for it. Plan for your 20%. Tonight I want to have samba chips. Well done, Melisha, going from a big pack to a smaller pack. That's great. Okay. We are almost through this. So let's do a quick little recap. We want to start getting curious and not critical. So you look for your patterns. When does this urge usually happen? What time of day? Is it in the mornings when you wake up? Is it in the afternoons? What were you feeling just before? Was it stress? Was it boredom? Was it loneliness? Was it overwhelm? What was happening around you? Were you working? Were you being alone? Were you in a disagreement with someone? Were you scrolling? Were you watching series? That's one of my patterns. When I watch series or a movie, I automatically think, oh, this is very boring. What can I eat while watching this? Did you eat enough earlier in the day? Was there some sort of restriction before the urge? Please remember that these triggers are not problems. They are just information. So simple tools that you can start implementing right now. Pause before you react. It takes just a moment to check in with yourself. What do I actually need right now? Name the feeling that you're feeling. I feel stressed, bored, overwhelmed. Naming the feeling takes power away from it. Test it. When I tell myself, oh, I feel depressed, it's like, no, yeah, okay, I feel depressed. Crazy. It literally takes away the power that this feeling has over you. Create a small gap, 2 to 5 minutes before eating. Breathe, step outside, drink some tea, call someone. Give yourself what you need. Eat enough throughout the day. Do not skip your meals. Even if you're not hungry, find your structure. Eat even if you are not hungry. That is how you reduce the emotional intensity later. Build your plate or your meals, your structure around power foods first. Then allow for your pleasures without guilt. Move your body. Walk, stretch, shake, dance. Do this. This regulates your system. And I feel one of the most important things is to speak to yourself differently. See how this feels for you. I messed up. I have no control. Why do I keep doing this? If you replace that with something like, something's coming up for me. Now you have moved from judgment to curiosity. When you are curious, you are more open. When you're judgmental, you're closed off. It's very important to understand that we do not need more control. We need awareness and we need support. And these small shifts, by simply taking a moment and asking yourself what it is that you need before eating, gets repeated, and that is how real change is created. We're always thinking that it's this big thing that needs to happen. But it's really something as simple as just changing how you speak to yourself. I'm just struggling with my arrows here the whole time. I want to get to my last slide, but it's not allowing me. Let's try one more time. Okay. Why is this happening? I know why, but I'm just trying to fix it. There we go. Because you see, usually I have my second screen above me, but my setup has changed and now it's just not doing anything. Never mind. Okay. We're going to finish this session, but there is one thing that I'd also like you to consider and keep in mind. Emotional eating, binge eating, trust issues around food, whatever you want to call it, it is likely a deeply ingrained trauma response that you've been dealing with for years. And that means you will need to be patient and very compassionate towards yourself. Like Roselle said, this is not something that you can heal or fix overnight. It took me 4 years. And like I just said earlier, it still comes up for me. Literally, right now, tonight. But the only way that you can work through this is to break the pattern. And the only way to break the pattern is to do the things that you are afraid of doing. What I mean by that is increase your calories. You do not need to eat 1,000 calories a day to see results. In fact, you will probably see results faster by increasing your calories so you don't set yourself back by binging. Please remember that you don't have to have this all figured out or have this fixed overnight. You can't be perfect. No one is perfect. No one will ever be perfect. You don't need another strict plan. You need to start listening to yourself again. You need to become aware and more present and curious about why you are doing things a certain way. Your body is not the enemy. It is literally the only place where you will start to build trust. And the only place where you will learn how to support yourself. So you have to be a little bit more softer with yourself, a little bit more curious. And give yourself permission to do things differently. I cannot stress this enough. The urge to restrict or avoid emotions or distract will come up. It's part of life. You need to recognize that and let it pass through you. You are capable of holding big, difficult emotions. There is no need to doubt yourself in that capacity or capability. Find something that works for you. Find another way to feel these emotions. And one thing that has been really working for me, my last cycle, right before my period, it was really difficult for me. It was a very, very difficult time. It's like I'm going through all of these existential, like, who am I? What am I doing here? What is my purpose? I don't even know who I am. I don't even know. Dance. Shake it out. Because we become very analytical and trying to think our way out of it. It's not possible. You can't. So shake it out. And then it's like, whoa, all right. Like the feeling has just disappeared. It's like, yeah, I don't even care who I am at this point. If someone asks me, who are you? I'm just going to say, I am who I am. You know. Let me stop the screen share. And if there's anyone who'd like to hop on here and say something, please feel free. I've done enough talking.
I had a few things I wanted to say, but now I forgot about them, so I'll just WhatsApp you.
Ay, Dalai Lama.
Yeah.
You know, Ricardo
Yeah,
calls
it's
you Dalai Lama.
Yay! Another name. Where? Um, Something that catches me is I'll be doing so well and I love eating healthy and like broccoli and cauliflower and mince and chicken. I love it. I enjoy it. It's very nice for me. I really do enjoy it. And my eggs and stuff that I make. But then, like now when I was in Cape Town, then it was like we were there for a friend's birthday and my best friend's birthday, and it was like, okay, you have to balance. You can't just be strict the whole time. So you are going to drink and you are going to have some cake and you're going to have some sweet things. And but it wasn't even a couple of hours. My stomach was paining, and then it's not nice, and then it's bloating, and then it's like shit, ek het al klaar al hierdie gewig opgesit en kom ek eet maar nog 'n bietjie en then it gets like worse and worse. And you pick it up so quickly, or it's like water retention. I don't know, but I feel like you pick up like one day or one cheat meal so quickly, but it takes you so long to lose it. Like, I don't.
So first of all, that experience is completely normal. It happens to me all the time. When we go on a road trip, I prep meals. I make homemade chicken sandwiches. I make our oats cake. Do you think we eat it? No. We stop at the first garage and see what we can buy. It's
I
okay,
eat mine.
Good for you.
Biltong.
It is okay. And yes, because remember, you are experiencing a sense of freedom. It doesn't mean that you are unhealthy or that you have failed your healthy lifestyle. It means you are having a moment. You are having some fun. You are letting go. It is fine. You have to be in that moment. Yes, it happens. Ooh, my stomach feels so full and all these types of things. Let me grab something else. It happens to me too. I do exactly the same thing. It's normal. It's okay. There's nothing wrong with you. It's not fat that you've gained. It's a whole lot of inflammation and glycogen in your body that is building up, especially if no movement was involved. So if you didn't go on walks or did a short training session, even just body weight, you'll feel it. You'll feel the bloating. Your system, your body's not used to that. So it responds. You'll lose that and drop it off in a week. But
You know what the other thing is? Yeah.
just again, because now we go through that, like I had so much fun, now I need to restrict and starve. Right? It's a pattern. And so we just get back into that same cycle. So it's really about this happened, I had fun, how can I move forward? That's all. It's not how can I fix what I've done. You can't. It's done. It's in the past. You can only move forward.
Girl. I love my routine. I love my prepping my food and, exercising and going for my walks when I can and, sticking to my stuff. And then like now I thought to myself, yeah, if there's now another Cape Town trip, julle gaan nie vir fok vir my sê ek moet weer koek eet nie. Like then it like just messes everything up. Like dan raak ek so kwaad, dan wil ek nie weer gaan nie. But it's not vir my die moeite. It's not worth it for me then. Because now I sit here and I feel horrible.
I get that.
Yeah.
So it's fine. That is then in those moments where you can that is going to take willpower. That is when willpower is involved. That's the only time. Because you've had your fill, it's not needed. So now what's happening? is it that sense of freedom that you are enjoying? But then, is it really freedom? Because you're saying that you feel like it's just, so heavy on you. So it's not. So then just break free from that. You have a choice. Yes, like I said, that is when willpower is involved. But once you make a conscious choice, I'm going to go to Cape Town and I will allow myself to have one drink on this day because this is the actual celebration. And for the rest of the time, I'd like to enjoy a little bit of cleaner foods. Maybe it doesn't have to be stuff that's on your meal plan. It could just be stuff that is a little bit more nutritious and a little bit more that will keep you satiated, because the pleasure foods does not satiate you. It just spikes dopamine and you just want more and more and more of that. And that's why I'm saying it becomes very difficult to get out of that, because you're stuck in this loop of a constant dopamine of these types of foods.
It just clicked. It's also for me people pleasing.
Interesting. Yeah.
Because everybody puts pressure on you, and yeah, you can't just keep on doing that. You must balance. Oh, what's one slice of cake going to make a difference? Or, yeah, it's also about people pleasing, actually.
Yeah, so now it
Thanks.
becomes a boundary setting thing. My no is my no, and you can think about me whatever it is you want. It's usually they can't sit with the discomfort of someone making choices that will benefit them, and so they want to bring you down with them.
Down to.
That's all it is. It's not that they're actually putting pressure on you to have you eat this. They want to make themselves feel better.
Yeah. Look, they didn't stuff it down my throat. I also might ate it, but you know what I'm saying? They're like
I do.
16 people together. Yeah. Thank you.
You're so welcome. Anyone else?
I just
Can you come a little bit closer?
Hello?
Yes.
Sorry, y'all gonna see my nostrils. So I'm in a mini binge phase. So I needed this because I have a lot of bored feelings because I work on a cruise ship and I'm on vacation. But my vacation isn't a week or so, it's like a month. So you tend to, like, what am I gonna do? Kind of vibes. And then, yeah, so I really needed this. And now I can focus more on my figures, like a long time eating like this. So I really appreciate it.
Yeah, and the thing is, like, we have this idea that we need to change the negative feelings into something positive. That if we are feeling a negative feeling, there's something wrong with us. So let's try to change that into a positive thing. A feeling is a feeling. Loneliness, it's not nice to feel it, but it's not something that you have to change. You can. What is it that you need? What is it that a person needs when they're lonely? Support, or a friend, or a call. So now you are able to respond. Responsibility. That's what I want to say. It's your responsibility. Responsibility means you are able to respond by reaching out to someone and saying, yo, bruh, I'm lonely. Let's chat, or let's go and have a coffee, or please help me. I'm struggling with this. You are allowed to ask for help. Who in the world said that we need to deal with all of these things by ourselves? Right? My pleasure.
I say this every time I think of it every time at the end of like our calls like this, where I feel like I'm like, not that I'm the only one, like there are other people that feel this way, but like actually like having people like live talk about it just makes you feel so much better as well. So thank you for creating the space for us. It makes a difference. Like, yes, you can sit by yourself and be like, yeah, I'm not the only one, or you read stuff on Instagram or whatever. But when you actually sit and hear other people's things, then you feel like a sense of, you know,
Yeah.
it's
When
I'm not the only one,
and
actually.
we are not supposed to, as women, people in general, but we're not supposed to carry all of these things by ourselves. That is what community is. It doesn't mean that we have the same belief systems or whatever, but it really is just this type of thing that I know this person will have my back or whatever. I know this person can hold this space for me. And that's why I'm saying that we are not supposed to deal with these types of things by ourselves and alone. It's not a human design. That's not how we function at our best. That's not how we heal. That's not how we move forward. We need people, even if it is to say, hey, I see you. It's okay. I also eat myself until I roll down the stairs. It happens.
Stop. Thank you, Kaylee.
You are so welcome. It's my absolute pleasure to host these calls. Thank you for showing up. I know it's late. You all have stuff that you need to do, but I do appreciate your time. I really do.
Thank you.
This was amazing. Thank you.
You're so welcome. Okay, and I hope I'll see you. I actually want to ask if you have some topic ideas for our next call. If something comes up for you, something that you maybe want to talk about or hear more about, just pop it in the WhatsApp group and then we'll get
Okay.
into it. Okay.
Thank you.
I don't have all the answers. I'm also not a psychologist or a psychiatrist or any of those. Okay, just so you know.
Just bring us together. We'll figure it out too.
I like that. I really like that.
Thank you,
Okay,
Kaylee.
ladies,
Thank
have
you.
a wonderful evening. Enjoy your week.
Bye, you too.
Bye-bye.
Bye, Ron.
Bye.